During a beautiful day, Ash and Brock walk towards their next destination, Cerulean City. For some unknown reason, Misty tries to dissuade them from visiting the place, mentioning ghost stories and suggesting that Vermilion City would be a better destination. However, Ash is determined to face the local gym leader and earn his badge. Meanwhile, Team Rocket breaks into a store through the ventilation system in search of a machine to help them steal Pokémon. Ash and Brock arrive in Cerulean City without Misty, finding a store surrounded by a crowd and the police. They learn that thieves stole an industrial vacuum cleaner and a giant hose. Looking for the local gym, Ash and Brock find a synchronized swimming show presented by Lily, Violet, and Daisy, the leaders of the Cerulean Gym. The leaders are willing to hand over the Cascade badge without a fight, as they have already been defeated by 3 trainers from Pallet Town recently. At that moment, Misty appears and reveals herself to be the sister sibling, challenging Ash to a battle. The battle begins with Ash using Butterfree against Misty's Staryu. Butterfree manages to paralyze Staryu, but Staryu recovers in the water and knocks out Butterfree. Ash then chooses Pidgeotto, while Misty switches Staryu for Starmie. Although Pidgeotto successfully attacks, Starmie defeats it. At that moment, Team Rocket bursts into the gym using a tank and tries to steal the Pokémon with a giant vacuum cleaner. They manage to capture Seal and Pikachu, but Pikachu uses an electric attack, and the electricity conducted through the water defeats Team Rocket. Ash manages to save Pikachu before he is launched into the air by the hose. After the incident, Misty's sisters hand over the Cascade badge to Ash, even though the battle was interrupted. Ash, Misty, and Brock continue their exciting adventures through the Kanto region, heading towards Vermilion City. With 2 badges and seeking the 3rd, Ash and his friends head to Vermilion City. Along the way, Ash battles other Pokémon trainers, achieving 10 victories. The 10th trainer suggests that Ash challenge AJ, an undefeated boy who trains his Pokémon in his own unofficial gym, with a score of 98 wins and 0 losses. At the gym, Ash and AJ begin their battle, with AJ doubting the legitimacy of Ash's badges. AJ uses his Sandshrew, and Ash starts with Pidgeotto. Sandshrew quickly defeats Pidgeotto and Butterfree, but Pikachu refuses to fight. Team Rocket watches the battle and plans to capture AJ's powerful Sandshrew. Ash accuses AJ of cheating, but AJ refuses to fight again. They argue about AJ's training methods, and Brock asks about the Pokémon's diet. AJ reveals that he prepares secret recipes for each species himself. Meanwhile, Team Rocket tries to capture Pikachu using a red rubber ball. AJ gives his Pokémon a break, but soon Sandshrew disappears. Team Rocket captured Sandshrew by mistake, thinking it was Pikachu. Ash suggests that Sandshrew ran away due to AJ's training methods, but AJ's Pokémon show loyalty to him. Sandshrew escapes Team Rocket and returns to the gym with Meowth biting its tail. Team Rocket is revealed as responsible for Sandshrew's disappearance, and AJ challenges them to a battle. His Sandshrew easily defeats Ekans and Coughing, achieving the 100th victory. AJ can now start earning badges and compete in the Pokémon League. Ash invites AJ to join them on their adventures, but he declines, preferring to follow his own path. In the middle of a dense and foggy forest, Ash and his friends walk in harmony toward Vermilion City. During the walk, Misty repeatedly reminds Ash that she won't leave him alone until he buys her a new bicycle, and they start arguing. Brock tries to prepare something to drink for his friends, but he doesn't have fire to boil the water. As Misty prefers to stay with Brock, Ash ventures into the forest in search of firewood. He doesn't find what he's looking for, but he sees a bright light in the distance and approaches it. In fact, the light came from a group of boys with candles, one of whom was running on a treadmill. The others asked questions about Pokémon, and when the boy running on the treadmill didn't know the answers, they increased the speed of the machine and he fell. Ash arrives and discovers they are doing private training. They are students of a school and don't want a classmate who doesn't know the name of Pidgey's evolution. Ash challenges them, but they don't want to fight and leave. Misty and Brock join Ash, and thanks to a flyer that Misty carries, they discover that the students are from the Pokemon Technical Institute, a school for exceptional students that allows access to the Pokemon League without the need for badges. While Brock reads the flyer, Pikachu climbs on a treadmill and presses some buttons, making it run. Ash asks where the school is, and the boy who was running on the treadmill points ahead. The fog dissipates, and they see a large institute surrounding them. The boy, Joe, considers his classmates friends even though they mistreat him. He reveals that he sometimes pretends not to know the answers because, otherwise, they ask him harder questions. He also mentions other students who can't pass the year due to difficult classes and get stuck for years at the beginner level. Ash wants to know who the best student in the class is, and Joe shows a photo of a girl named Giselle. Meanwhile, Team Rocket watches the institute from afar, and Jesse and James remember when they studied there, but failed. Ash and his friends find a room with Pokemon battle simulators. Joe claims that even the most behind trainers from the school could beat trainers with 2 or more badges. Misty, irritated, challenges Joe to a battle. The fight is brief. Misty Starmie uses water gun against Joe's Weepinbell and wins. Giselle appears, proud of her beauty and talent. She refuses to help Joe because he is weak, and his classmates will marginalize him if he doesn't become stronger. Misty and Giselle start fighting. Giselle uses a Graveler, which withstands Starmie's water gun and defeats its opponent with a powerful rollout. Misty retrieves her Starmie, and Giselle argues that a quality Pokemon trainer should consider the level of the Pokemon, in addition to their advantages and disadvantages concerning other types. Giselle laughs at Ash for having only 3 Pokemon and 2 badges in 2 months of adventure. She also hints that maybe Pikachu is training Ash, instead of Ash training Pikachu, since Pikachu doesn't stay in its Pokeball. Then, a battle begins between Ash and Giselle, with Giselle choosing Cubone. Pikachu uses Thunderbolt, but Cubone dodges with its bone and uses Leer. Ash orders Pikachu to taunt Cubone, making it furious and attacking with Bone Club and Boomerang. Pikachu is weakened after the attacks, but Ash encourages it to defend itself. When Cubone uses Boomerang again, Pikachu jumps on its head, spinning the skull Cubone wears and preventing it from seeing. Pikachu bites Cubone's tail and scratches it, and the last Boomerang launched returns and hits Cubone. Injured, Cubone begins to cry, and Ash wins the battle. Giselle admits that she never read in any book that a Pikachu could win without using its electric moves. At that moment, Team Rocket springs into action, having observed the battle. The students recognize Jesse and James as former students who were the worst in the school. Giselle and the other classmates throw Pokeballs to drive Team Rocket away from the school. In the end, Joe decides to leave the Pokemon Technical Institute to return home and train his first Pokemon from scratch, just like Ash did. When saying goodbye to Giselle, he asks if he can take her photo, and she replies that he can, as they are now friends. Ash asks why he and Misty can't be like Joe and Giselle, and Misty responds that it's because Joe doesn't owe anything to Giselle. The episode ends with the 3 heroes continuing their journey to Vermilion City. Ash leads his friends, Misty and Brock, deep into the forest without a compass, relying only on his instinct. This leaves them lost, and they decide to rest. At that moment, Ash spots a wild Oddish drinking water. Misty tries to capture it with her Starmie using water attacks, but a Bulbasaur appears and prevents the capture. Ash then tries to capture the Bulbasaur with his Butterfree using sleep powder, but Bulbasaur blows the powder back, making Butterfree fall asleep and then attacks Butterfree. Bulbasaur and Oddish take the opportunity to flee. Continuing on, Ash and Misty nearly fall into the river while crossing a bridge broken by the wind. Brock, who had already fallen into the river, is rescued by Melanie. Ash and Misty manage to save themselves and continue looking for Brock, encountering various traps such as holes and nets along the way. Brock introduces Melanie, who takes care of injured or abandoned Pokémon in a hidden village. Melanie explains that she set up the traps to protect the Pokémon, including the bridge trap. However, Team Rocket, consisting of Jessie, James, and Meowth, also face the traps while trying to steal the Pokémon from the village. In the hidden village, Misty apologizes to Oddish, and Bulbasaur reappears, trying to protect Oddish from any harm. Melanie reveals that Bulbasaur has always protected the village and its Pokémon. Ash is impressed by Bulbasaur's courage and would like to have him on his team. Team Rocket attacks the village with a device that sucks up the Pokémon, but Bulbasaur and the others manage to resist. Ash and his friends manage to defeat Team Rocket and send them far away. Melanie then asks Ash to take Bulbasaur on his journey, as he needs to explore the world and grow. Ash accepts, but first faces Bulbasaur in a battle with Pikachu, in which he manages to capture Bulbasaur after winning. Melanie says goodbye to Bulbasaur and the others. Brock offers to stay and help Melanie take care of the Pokémon, but she insists that he should continue his adventures. With a new team member, Ash, Misty, and Brock head towards Vermilion City.